Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is very exciting because it's going to be my first Halloween look of the season. I always feel like I fall behind every Halloween because special effects makeup, costume makeup, this kind of makeup is really not my specialty, but it is very fun to do. And honestly, I just don't think I do it because I see so many badass looks every year and I just feel like, come on, how do you top some of these looks? But that's no excuse because it's also a really good opportunity to get creative and practice some skills. So today's look is going to be fairly easy because I wanted to do a look that, in case you aren't the type of person to do special effects makeup, or you're not going to run out and get yourself a whole costume like from head to toe, you can pull together a Halloween costume look with just makeup that you may already have at home. So I think that's actually really easy and really versatile. So without further ado, let's begin.
Alright, so to start off this look, I'm first going to be using my Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer, mainly because I just want to create a smooth surface before going in with any actual makeup. This just makes it easier to work and draw on. So I'm smoothing this primer all over my entire face. For foundation, really, I'm going to be mixing the Double Wear by Estee Lauder foundation in Bone, which is their lightest shade, with some Body Shop lightning drops to create a very pasty color. I didn't want to have to resort to using any face paints. I really wanted to keep this with just makeup only to help those of you out who don't have any supplies or paints like that at home. So I'm just going to be blotting this onto my face with a beauty blender, just making sure to get a nice even application. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm really only going past my jaw and up. I'm not really worrying about my neck area. It's meant to look like a mask. I'm then using just a little bit of extra lightening liquid to just highlight the center of my face. This is a very thin consistency, so it doesn't provide any extra coverage. So if you want more coverage, go in with a second layer of foundation with the mixture all over, but for me, I just wanted to bring some lightness to the center of my face. Once that's blended out, I'm taking a large powder brush and some Ofra setting powder and just basically setting my entire face, and then really making sure to hit those under eye areas because that part is going to crease up if you do not. For my brows, I am using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade 5, and I'm using very harsh strokes and pressure to apply this because I want my brows to appear very dark and very bold, and I'm extending my tail. And I did the baseline first just to make sure I got my shape down before filling everything in. These are definitely not your everyday brows. I wanted to deliberately make them look very harsh, and then also I drew in some more hair-like strokes at the beginning of the brow to give it that more unruly kind of evil look. I'm then just cleaning up as usual with some concealer and an angle brush. Then taking some coffee, because clowns need coffee too, right? I'm then going to be darkening my hairline with the shade Urban from the Urban Decay Electric palette, and then blending it downward with a little bit of Jilted, which is a much deeper purpley pink, and then dipping into Savage to kind of blend this out into a lighter. We're doing some contouring. This is like clown contouring here. I'm then using my Tarte clay gel liner to start off the triangles going up from my brow, but I decided to switch over to the liquid pencil instead or liquid pen instead, because it was just much easier to work with, and I felt like I had more control, and I felt like the brush and the gel were just pulling against the makeup already set down, and this just glided over on top very easily. So I just did a spike going upward, and then some dots, just 2 dots like a line going up towards my hairline. To start off the eye look, I primed my eyes with some LA Girl Pro Conceal and blended out the beauty blender, and then just set it with that translucent powder. I'm starting off with a transition shade, although my brush did have some remnants of the purple and pink shadows we used to do the forehead contouring, but it's okay. Basically, I just wanted to set down a base color before we go in with all the bright colors we'll be using. And again, I just used Savage, Jilted, and Urban in that order on the eyes, really only focusing on the crease since we are going to be cutting it, so whatever's on the lid really doesn't matter. And I just use a large fluffy brush to do so, and really making sure to hit that inner socket of the eye because I wanted this to be as dramatic as possible. And then switching over to a much smaller blending brush once we got into the deeper color, which is Urban, just to add that depth into the crease before we go ahead and cut it. And I just did my typical cut crease routine here. I did a blob of concealer on my lid and then looked straight into the camera. And then this creates that mark to where it's that perfect measurement of where your crease needs to be cut in order for it to look good on your eyelid shape. So then just with a flat concealer brush, I inched my way and slowly began to cut the crease. And when you inch your way and kind of stamp, you get that nice sharp look. So really this clown isn't like a scary clown. This is like a makeup clown, you know? So like this is the clown you want to hang out with because she can like teach you how to cut your crease, get those brows on, you know what I'm saying? Not one of those murderous clowns. And then I'm just carrying on the concealer all the way throughout and then just winging it out to create that nice winged out shape. I'm then taking some MAC pigment. This has a reflect of pink to it. So just picking it up on that same brush and just pressing it onto the already tacky concealer on the lid. It's going to adhere very easily and it really won't move. So that's just what I did. I didn't find the need to go on with any type of glitter adhesive or anything like that. And just smoothing this over that entire area that we decided to cut. Then I'm just going to continue to draw on the second spike above my brow and just with the same liquid eyeliner. This one is from Tarte. This is their Tarte Double Take Liner. And then I got my NYX white eyeliner. Finally found a use for it since I hate this for the eyes. I'm doing some dots along different areas of my face and I'm first starting off against my hairline. If you get some on your hair, it's okay. It'll just like flake off. And I did much more pressure at the dots closest to my hair and then lightened up my pressure as I came down towards the center of my face to create the illusion of bigger dots and smaller dots. I'm then doing the contour on my cheek with the same process we did on the forehead, starting off with the darkest color, ending with the lightest. And at first it looks really choppy, but once you go over with a larger brush to buff it all out, it really smooths everything. I'm then taking the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit and using this shade. I believe this was, what is this, Horseshoe? It's that purpley shade within the palette. And then going over on top with Sassy Grape from the Sweets palette to give a nice colorful highlight. I mean, this is really the best use for these purple highlighters. I'm then using the Wet n Wild pressed glitter. It's just like a translucent glitter. And since this already has a very waxy base that never dries, it's a perfect base to put on some more glitter. So I'm using the MAC pressed pigment as a highlight as well on top of that to set it also. Then I'm going to be just starting to smoke out the bottom lash line, and I'm using again Urban from the palette and just really smoking it out, and then taking that small blending brush again and just using Savage to just smoke this all out. And as I smoke it out and going back and forth, I start to bring it down lower and lower up into about the maybe highest point of my cheekbone, and then just really making sure to deepen up that inner corner of the eye socket to make it just look super hollow. I'm then just adding a little bit of highlighter. I believe I added Pink Heart from the Moonchild Glow Kit right into the inner corner just for some dimension. I'm then taking the other side of that Tarte liner and lining my inner waterline and just smudging that out with a smudge brush. I'm then marking where I want the upside down triangle to be underneath my eye and just meeting it along that line with the same liquid liner we used for the top segment, and then just filling that all in. It really doesn't matter. This does not need to be super perfect or super opaque, but it did help since we are putting glitter on top. You don't want any missing gaps after you applied your glitter. So I'm using a glitter adhesive first and just placing this down on the area within the triangle, and then picking up some pink glitter. This one is Double Bubble from Eye Candy, which I ended up spilling all over my floor, which if you follow me on Snapchat, you saw. Such a mess, but you know, did it for the video. Anyway, and I'm working fast because this glitter adhesive dries really quickly, so you don't want to, wait too long. I'm then doing the same technique with the white NYX eyeliner under my lower lash line, and again just applying lighter pressure as we begin to move down to create the illusion of bigger and smaller dots. I am also doing this technique along the contour, so along the hollow of my cheek. The dots are bigger in the most hollow part and start to get a little bit smaller towards the upper part of my cheekbone. For lashes, I'm using Lily Lashes in Vegas and Salon Perfect 615s for the bottom lashes. While the glue is drying on those, I'm going to be applying a nice little circle of glue adhesive or glitter adhesive on my nose, and then filling that in with the same pink glitter we use for underneath the eye to create that little clown circle nose. And then I'm applying my lashes. I did apply the Salon Perfect ones on the bottom upside down to create that, you know, bottom eyelash effect and a more doll-like, creepy kind of look. And then applying the top lashes like normal. For the lips, I'm using the Stila liquid lipstick, and I can't remember the name of this. It's just a really, really hot pink liquid lip. And then to create the clown-like corners of my mouth, I'm using an eyeliner brush to just precisely draw that in. Take your time with this because this is actually a lot harder than it looks. Only because you want the lines to be really perfect and coherent. I mean, it's Halloween. You can just make a mess out of this if you want to. It still would go. But I wanted a really, really sharp, creepy, pointy mouth. And then once that's dried, I'm applying a little bit of eyeshadow on the inner parts to create that really dirty, grungy look. And then that basically completes it. I got really sloppy on the neck, so don't mind that. But, you know, you can wear a clown costume if you want to. And you guys, I know there's a big issue with clowns right now, so please be careful when you're out there. You know, don't threaten anyone, all right? Because you don't want to be one of those murderous ones. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this look and stick around for more Halloween looks coming up. Bye, guys.